You don't have to parallel yourself with someone that you respect simply because you respect them. I could not parallel myself with Kohlberg. I could not parallel myself with Sid Simon for sure, though Sid was a good friend. And Sid and I got acquainted through professional meetings long before he became as great and famous as he did from his post in Boston University. But he was a remarkable person, but I think he was dead wrong about a few things. He had a capacity to reason about important choices that people make and understand them for their moral value and moral consequence. But what he could not accept was that there was any real moral authority on which one could base moral choice. So to Sid, the matter of making ethical choices or moral choices was largely a matter that people could either do it or not, but if they did it according to algorithms and processes that were very naturalistic and very phenomenological and not exactly what I would call spiritual in any sense. His technique was to teach moral values by helping people clarify their moral values. Well, that helps a lot. It really does, but it doesn't bring it all the way home. People need to be clear on what they're choosing and why they're choosing it, but if they don't allow for any moral authority ultimately underneath that, they have no way to judge and to make the determination that something is true or something is right, except in a relativistic sense. So it's a little bit like where we are today in political polling. We just simply count noses and find out how many people are for it or against it and determine that the truth lies this way or that way. And ultimately we end up in conflicts because there is no recourse to moral authority. And there was my problem with Sid, but my problem with Kohlberg perhaps was very similar. Kohlberg's biggest problem, for me, I should say my biggest problem with Kohlberg, was that he put things together in a way that he could demonstrate, because he was seeing it in real life, he was seeing it in people's choices and decisions, but again, he was making the assumption that they were just somehow naturally coming to this as part of the natural process of maturing and growing up. And I just never could come to grips with, to the point of accepting at least, that particular model. And consequently, I agreed with him on much of his structuring, much of his testing, much of his operational observation, but I couldn't agree with him in terms of where it was all leading. There's the problem with both Sid and with Larry.